No, 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 no. I did it again. I'm really not the best at Rumble Studio. Okay, so I was talking muted for 3 minutes, and nobody told me because nobody's joined in yet. Okay, well that was embarrassing, but at least nobody really saw that. 3 minutes of me talking to myself. Okay, I'll start that again. What I'm doing is I'm probably going to play a little bit of Snake IO because my daughter has that on a tablet, and I found that I kind of enjoy playing that more than she does. Yeah, I was also just going on Twitter to try and sort of put out to a few people that I'm on, just in case if anybody wants to join the stream, go ahead, let me know. I can pass you a link. If anybody's watching and you want to just chat to me in the chat, do that. If you want to join the stream, let me know. Message me and I will give you a link. If you're on Twitter, I am at DanceBikerDance. I will just retest the sound because I just did 3 minutes of talking to myself, muted like an idiot. Let me try this again. So if I go press play live, bring it up to speed. Yes, there we go. Now you can actually hear me. One day I'll get this right. One day I will get it right. Today is not that day. It may be some time before I get this stuff right. So yeah, what I was trying to say was I'm trying to tag people on Twitter, but the thing is, their Twitter handle isn't necessarily what they go by on YouTube and stuff. And the bad thing about that is I can't see what their rats are to try and tag them in stuff. So I've opened up a new tab and I should be able to do it that way. Oh no, Shizzy, he is at Shizzy was not. So yeah, it should let me do that. Okay. Let me try this again. So why is it not coming up on my? Am I spelling it wrong? No. No, I am not. So this is going to be very painful to watch while I'm doing this. I'm just trying to. Basically, somebody that I know on Twitter. I'm trying to tag them, and I can see their at. And when I'm trying to tag them, it's not doing anything. Just making sure I'm spelling it right. I am. I'm just going to have to tag them like that and hope it works. That's weird. That is weird. It's trying to, yeah, it's trying to promote all sorts of people I don't know, rather than you would have thought. I mean, Elon. So right here we go. Elon, sort this out, Elon. Right, if you're doing a tweet and you do an at, right, and you start writing the name, make it so it searches your list of people first, not randomers. Please, Elon, sort that out. There's got to be a coding, and the coding for doing that can't be too hard, surely. I mean, yeah, I'm not a coder, but you're the guy who employs all the coders, so get them to sort that out, please. That would make life a lot easier. As it is, I'm going to have to try and search people's individual hats. Right. Without saying them on the stream. All typos though. Aha, right. It's actually come up with you. That's fine. I can add you. Yes, you. Oh, it's actually working. Woo! Yep. Yes, right. And Digger, what do you go by on Digger one? Oh no, sorry, I shouldn't say the full thing. Right, okay. Right, there we go. Who am I missing out? Apologies if I'm missing anybody out. I'm just going to post that for the moment. A few people that might jump on. So if I go YouTube, I'm just going to test everything is working in the background when my computer decides to catch up to me. Where? We don't need the elevator music. Like, do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Or is that? It's not. That's from a show, isn't it? That's from an American show. It's not elevator music, is it? Is it? It's not Jeopardy, is it? Is it Jeopardy? You'll have to tell me, chat. What's that music from? Do 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 do. That one. Yeah. I'm just clicking that on my live link on YouTube. Apologies if the sound comes through before I can mute it. Just want to make sure I'm not getting any chats and stuff. Me singing to myself. Cool. All right, I'll leave that on. Right, I'll give it some time for people to come in. I'm going to have a little go at Snake.io. Hopefully, I'll not suck too bad at this. I've taken the sound off because the music was really loud and played it with the music. It will give an option to change the whole stream. And then I was going to say, then you wouldn't be able to hear me. Maybe that might be preferable. I don't know. But anyway, so I'll try and keep an eye on the chat as best I can, but I probably can't while I'm playing. So, oof, that's loud. The sound effects are loud. Apologies. If the sound effects are really loud, apologies. Ooh, hang on. Meter's going off. Why are you not being responsive? Hello, sir? No. Is it my hand? What? Excuse me, sir? No. You can't just glitch and then crush me. That's not good. Right, I'll see what I'll do. Let me get, where's the settings? Where's the settings? I am going to turn off I'll just refresh it. I'm going to turn off completely the sound effects because they're really loud and that's going to put me off. I don't know what it's like on the stream. Hopefully it's not too bad on the stream, but in my ear, it's horrendous. So if I go... I'm going to keep the music first. That's the music. Let's see if it's actually... If my computer can handle this without completely... ooh, yes. No, it's glitchy. It's glitchy. It should be smooth, and it's being... No, this isn't going to work. Oh, this is such a shit. I like this game, and it's going to crash me. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. I mean, I guess it's not the best computer in the world. I couldn't even tell you what it is. It's something I mostly use for work, so it's not like built for gaming and stuff. And I guess whilst I'm streaming to platforms and using this other software and trying to play a simple game, it's just my processor just can't handle it, I guess. I'll try it again though, just in case it's the website. Internet connection will be great because it's in with an Ethernet cable. And it's no. What are you doing? Put lag. What? This is. Oh, I was really looking forward to playing this game. Gonna be possible. See, I've hit the wall. That sucks. That's. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Chat, tell me. It was working perfectly well before. I tested before the stream, I just game, and it was working perfectly well, just for a few seconds, just to get it working. So maybe if I refresh it, I don't know. Maybe if I close down that YouTube one because it's not really necessary in the background. Close down some of these tabs. Should see if anybody is messaging me on X. Nope. It just doesn't sound right, does it? Saying X instead of Twitter. I sound like a knob saying that. X. It just doesn't sound right. Sorry, Elon. I know you want people to call it X, but like, it's going to take a while. To me, it's Twitter. It's going to take a while. Oh, I've forgotten to switch off the music. Like, it's about to blast my. It clearly can't handle that. In browser game. What else have we got? What is the #1 browser game? Now I've seen people playing this Escape the Prison game, so I kind of know most of the answers from that because my daughter likes to watch these things on YouTube. What to play? Tower Boxer, Ball Wall. Ooh, Stickman Army of the Defenders. That sounds fun. I bet you anything my computer it won't work or something. Sorry. Play it browser. Play Stickman Army. I've literally no idea what I'm doing on this. I've never played this game before. So I was kind of hoping to play a bit of Snake IO, but my computer clearly can't handle it. Ooh, loud music. Ah, that's better. At least I've got rid of the music. All right, what do I do? Goodness. Okay, I guess I'll just go for it. Play. What is happening? Why is that flashing? Can I not play? Can I not click anything? Is it just not being responsive? I'm clearly clicking on things. Okay. Am I these guys, or am I defending these against these guys? Ah, ooh, right, okay. So, a gunner, right? A landing assistant. Okay, so I can have one of each. Or can I just have 2 gunners, please? Or have I balls that up already? I have no idea what's happening. Anybody on the chat, if you know what this game's all about, please tell me, because I'm just gonna have to go for it and see what happens. Okay. Okay, what happens? Is it like chess? Oh, I got to place a gunner somewhere. Drag him. Haha, here we go. Picking up some energy drinks. That's what you need. I think maybe your bullets are more important, but you know, who am I? Whoops. Don't know if I meant to do that. All right. What? Why can't I move him? Where's my gunner dude gone? Did he just get crushed by a one of these drops of energy drink? What's going on? Right, I need a gunner. Shoot the runner. Shoot the runner. Come on, shoot this guy. He's got an axe. Well, actually, hang on a minute. I'm not getting tricked. Yeah, this is like a Will Smith moment from Men in Black, right? They want me to shoot this dude, right? Just because he's got an axe? Nah. This guy's a landscape gardener, right? This guy, he's just coming into... Oh, no, I'm shooting him. Okay. You see, you've been fooled, son. This guy, he's just coming to do a little bit of maintenance on the trees. There's just a little bit of pruning needing doing. There's a few dead branches, and he's just shot the guy. Awful, awful. Oh, I see. I need the gunners to be in line with the dudes that are attacking, I guess. Is that what I'm doing? I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't see any planes landing here, dude. I don't really. Maybe he's just cheerleading. He's like, "Yay, go gunners, gunners." Okay, am I winning? Is this what you're supposed to do? I have no idea. Yes, achieve. Okay, so we've defeated 3 guys with axes, and we had a gun, or we had 3 guys with guns. That really doesn't. That really doesn't. Oh, hi, Shizzy. Right, let me talk. Not Shizzy. Sorry, hi, Sleazy. Can I talk to you? I defeated the terrorist Murica. Yes. Why can't I highlight your comment? Oh, I can. There we go. It's just been a little bit laggy. Sorry, mate. Cool. So, are you meaning you can't join because you're busy, or you can't join because I haven't sent you the link yet? But I will quite happily send you the link if you want to come in and join and have a chat. Yeah, let me know. I guess for your time, you've only a 4-hour difference at the moment, so you might be just still at work or finishing work. It was about 25 to 5 for you guys? East Coast, is that right? Oh, at work. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, busy AF. Yeah, okay. Oh, cool. Well, I appreciate you being here, even if you can only be here for a few minutes. Yes, I am defending America. Although, if this is supposed to be White House, maybe just let them in. Maybe that's all. No, maybe I shouldn't say that. Okay. So, oh, I've got some bomber dudes now. Okay. Late shift, less work, more pay. Nice. Yeah. Working another 7 hours. Oof. Yeah. Been there, mate. In the UK, we sometimes call it back shift. I don't know if you've ever heard about this. You've got like early shift, back shift, night shift. Usually, if it's split into 3s, so like your early shift will usually be like 7 a.m., 3 p.m. Back shift will be like 3 p.m. till 11 p.m. and night shift usually 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. Not exclusively, depends on what kind of business and stuff. Some places have really weird shifts, but late shifts in the UK depends on the job. You could be talking something like 12 till 8. If it's actually more, a bit later, 3 till 11, that kind of thing. There was one place I worked at, Nissan battery plant, where they had all sorts. Some of it was like the 12-hour shifts, like 2 12-hour day shifts, followed by 2 12-hour night shifts, followed by kind of 3.5 days off, or 4 days off, but you kind of lost some of your first day because you finish at 7 in the morning, you need a bit of sleep. Let's see, is this okay to pin? I don't want to get you in trouble at work. No, if I sit here and watch YouTube hours, just if someone cuts of fiber ISPs, get really whiny about needing internet. So some of that I don't understand because I'm a boomer. Was it someone cuts fiber? Oh, do you mean like cuts a fiber cable? Cool. I mean, because obviously I've chatted to you and stuff, but I don't know what you actually do for work. So obviously, if you want to keep any of that just to yourself, you don't have to tell me what you do for work. I know sometimes with the age we're in, sometimes it's better just to say less about ourselves than the better sometimes in terms of what we do in real life. But yeah, no, it's cool that if you're able to be here while I'm just chatting. I'm talking away. I should play a little bit more and see if I can get this next round. So I've defeated the first wave. Obviously, round 1 of any computer game is usually easy, even though don't underestimate my ability to mess things up. Oh, hang on. Let's try to open an advert. Oh, it's an ad, and of course I clicked on it. What an idiot. How do I get rid of this then? They trick you, don't they? No, I don't want to do feedback. Oh, here we go. Here we go. What, Sleazy Boomer, yes. Lol Boomer. Yes, fiber internet cables manage fibers between states and countries. Well, okay, cool, interesting. That's about it. There's several dozen companies that do it. That's not a secret. Yeah, when I was doing model making work for a bit, and this is long time ago now. There was when I was a student still. There was one company I did I work for a summer where we built these fifth scale models of tank turrets. There were some different concepts of tank turrets for the Warrior tank, I think it was. So it was kind of secretive stuff. But one of the things that they had in the model shop that they'd worked on before, I hadn't worked on it, but it was like these little models of these things that get dragged behind ships, and they would sort of drag along the seabed and sort of like a plow thing. It would kind of plow through the bottom of the sea whilst laying cable at the same time. So the cables would be on a big reel from the ship above, and so it would this thing would drag along the seabed, sort of like a plow, and then laying the cable underneath, and then the dirt and sand, whatever it is at the bottom of the sea, the ocean, that kind of stuff would close up again over it afterwards. Really quite interesting stuff. So it was like a little model about that big of this thing that in real life is much bigger, that gets dragged behind the ships. I thought that was quite an interesting, quite a cool looking gadget. And that was, man, that was like 25 years ago. So they were laying various cables back then even to do that kind of stuff. What's this? Shark attacks on fiber is the worst and craziest thing I've dealt with. You get your diving gear on, go down there with your knife and you know, get your knife. Yeah, get out of there, shark, and then fix the damage. Bit of duct tape around there, mate, it'll be fine. Bit of duct tape. No, I think I've heard that trying to fix fiberglass cables is like one of the hardest, like really hard, because I don't even know how you splice it. 'Cause I guess you'd have to. I don't know how you'd link up that many little tiny glass fibers. I'm sure they've got a device or something that does it, where if you have to chop a bit of damaged cable and then have like a link insert thing. I don't know how it works, but there was a guy. In fact, hang on. Let me just. I'll stop sharing this while I'm chatting to you. Let's see. How do I just go back to this? There we go. There was here in the UK. It was maybe 10, 15 years ago. Some guys were doing some work, some digging work, working on some pipes or new houses or something, and they accidentally cut through or used a digger or something through like a major communications cable, and big area of the country just had no phone lines. It was I think most of Glasgow had no phone lines. A lot of the northwest had no phone lines. I was doing some work at a time for to do with a network of like garages that sort of fix people's cars after motor accidents to do with insurance and stuff. And some of our offices, some of our repair network, businesses were just unreachable. We had no way of calling them. So before, like, even mobile phones were that prevalent, and we didn't even have contact numbers. So customers were calling us and saying, "Yeah, I need to know about what was happening with my car. I'm supposed to pick it up tomorrow." And we were like, "I can't tell you because some idiots cut through a major line, and half the country's got no phones. Have you not heard?" Let's see what you're saying here. I don't do field work anymore, but there is a device that melts the glass back together. Interesting. That's quite cool. See, I can imagine that being okay on the land, like digging down and doing it, but does it work under the sea as well? Interesting. I love all that kind of technology, that kind of stuff. Right? I find it really kind of interesting. But yeah, it reminds me of I don't know if you guys had this when you were at school, right, in America. But over here, when we got to, I don't know, about the age 14 or something, they had this thing where you fill in a load of like questions on a questionnaire. You know, are you more, I don't know. They'll ask a question. Are you more like this or more like that? Do you like this? Enjoy this somewhat? Not very much. Yes, I enjoy this. All these different things. A bit like a personality thing. They punch this information into a computer, and it's supposed to come out with what it thinks your career is going to be, right? I'm sure it's programmed to just put whatever the shortages are in the country for jobs or something. But anyway, I'm forgetting what it said. My wife, it said something ridiculous for her, but mine, it came back and said deep sea welder. At the time, I was thinking I had like no interest in being a deep sea welder. I actually know somebody kind of in my family that does that, and I think the money can be good. I think the money can be pretty good for deep sea welding, but it's yeah, there's a lot of specialist training. That's going to be like a dangerous job for one, and then you've got all the diving kit down deep in like who was it? Somebody was telling me like because of the pressure of the water and stuff, even if there's vibrations and that, it's really quite a hard graft job, I think. You know. Let's just have a quick look. What are you saying here? Nothing like that here. It's just to kick out the door and get told to figure it out. Yeah, it's probably the better way, to be honest, because I don't know of a single person who followed that career path advice thing from that computer, whatever it was. It was I forget even what they called it now, but basically it was just like a thing to try and predict what kind of industry you might be good for. You know, fill in all these personality things and it'll tell you. It was never right. Yeah, I'll just have a quick look at Twitter as well, and just to make sure I'm not neglecting here. If anybody's actually trying to contact me, or I'll do it on the phone, might be better. I always find Twitter on the PC is a bit weird. It never really sort of shows me what I really need it to in the right way. Profile. No, okay, that's cool. What are you saying? Yeah. Speaking of, I got monetized last week. Congratulations, buddy. Cool. I have no idea what to do. I never thought I'd actually get that far. So. Well, first of all, congratulations. That's really cool. I think I've heard that. I mean, trying to figure out the YouTube algorithm is like, I don't know. It's good luck with that. But I think I heard people saying that if you're consistent with like a theme or a kind of thing that you like doing, it eventually kind of learns what kind of audience would be good for your stuff, and then tries to promote you and that kind of stuff. And I do everything completely wrong because I think it was David Wood I heard was talking about it, and he was saying, like, say for example, if you do like a random stream here and then a short video there and then something else here about this subject, but then you do a different video about a completely different subject, the algorithm has no idea what you're about and what your audience should be, and so therefore your channel is less likely to grow. And I do all of that. I do all of that wrong on purpose because I don't care, because I just do whatever I want. But also, I mean, I personally got a thing years ago where I got a mark against my channel because they didn't like me. So I'm not expecting any algorithmic help at all for mine. Thankfully, you don't have any of that kind of stuff. And I've seen you, if I remember rightly, you've done sort of stuff about TV, cinema, computer games, that kind of stuff. And that's cool. Obviously, it's just about, I guess, finding something that you enjoy and you like making videos about. Because at the end of the day, if you do stuff and you don't enjoy doing it, it's ultimately going to get you down. So when you're saying no idea what to do, I'd say, well, you're obviously doing all right with what you're doing so far, because you know, you're building an audience and to the point where you've got monetized. So you're heading in the right direction there, fella. Just be yourself and just do what you enjoy doing. Yeah, I don't think there's any magic formula. If I could give you that, I would obviously be able to do it myself on my own channel. I've got no idea what I'm doing, so I can't give you advice. But I can say congratulations. That's excellent news on getting monetized. I've got the feeling for myself, if ever I actually got to the kind of numbers you needed, they probably still wouldn't add it on, because I think there's markers in the background on my channel. And in the past, I would have thought maybe I wouldn't say that. That would be a bit too conspiracy theorist kind of stuff. But since Elon buying Twitter, we now know that these things are, even though people suspected them, we now know for 100% for sure these things get done. You know, the shadow bannings and all that kind of stuff. And I wish I could use Jew magic and just print money a lot. Yeah, why aren't you? Hang on, you've got that, haven't you? I'm sure I've heard you've got all these abilities. You know, you just the print the shekels button. Haven't you got one of those somewhere? You know. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to keep that quiet. That was supposed to be a secret. I mean, yeah. I'll get some admonishment later from my Mossad agent. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's really cool about getting monetized. Magic Jew, not the Federal Reserve. Lol. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, they'd just be like, let's just print more money. Surely nothing bad will happen doing that. Inflation. Yeah. I mean, I'm no economy guru, but yeah, even I know that's a bad idea. Hey, did you see AOC losing her mind? I saw that little clip, was hilarious. With Bobulinski, the guy who used to be business partner with Hunter, wasn't he? He was the one that years ago came out and said, yes, this stuff is true, and only now she was like trying to press him. But did you actually see the president commit a crime? And he was like, yes. And then she was like, and then she just loses her mind. Yeah, you're quite right. Actually, yeah, she never had a mind, but yes, as well. Yeah, that's true. Good point. Good point. What little she had, she lost. Oh, I missed one of your chats here. It's been a while. Don't know if you saw it. I spent 3 weeks in the Philippines. Oh, nice. Cool. No, I missed that. I'm really sorry. I've been working a lot and haven't really kept up with much of what's going on in people's lives. That's cool. I'll have to try and check out if you've put some. I guess you probably made some videos and put some stuff on your channel about Philippines. Yeah, I imagine it was nice and warm and hot there, and I hope you had a great time. Yeah, I know some people from church that were from the Philippines. Lovely people. I think some of the islands are still quite very heavily Muslim. I don't know if there's any oppression of Christians in those areas and stuff. I don't know a whole lot about the Philippines personally. I know I think our church was at one point given some money towards a project because there is quite a lot of poverty in some areas. There was this thing about the children who they work on, basically like the trash heaps, the dumps, where they're trying to scavenge bits of materials that can be used for monetary, like to make money and stuff. There was a program to try and get them into education so that they can try and get a better future and stuff. Oh, okay. So where you went, it was like 98% Christian. Okay, that's cool. Except for the weird Muslim city. Okay. Oh, cool. Well, hopefully they were nice, and because there's a lot of people that say they're a Christian but don't really act it. So hopefully they were very accommodating and friendly. Yeah, I can imagine this. Because I've traveled around various countries, and something I've noticed that there's a lot of countries tend to have a big divide between the rich and the poor. Like I was in Romania one time, and Romania seemed going around similar in some ways to what I saw when I saw in America, where you can have somebody with like a really nice big sort of mansiony house, and then a couple of plots of land next to it, there's like a little shack thing and stuff like that. You know, the rich poor divide was really quite big. And I mean, where I live in the UK, there's a lot more of the middle ground. So yes, you've got a small percentage of the super rich people. You've got those that are in kind of poverty, in kind of like housing estates where they haven't really got much and they're sort of living off the state. But you've got a lot more of the middle ground. But as I've noticed that a lot of more countries around the world have got a bigger rich poor divide. Ideally, you want kind of a lot of people in the middle, kind of having like a reasonable standard of life. Oh, right. Digger's just saying, I'd love to join, but I have the flu. Next time for sure. I'll turn your stream on and snooze to it, lol. Yeah, thanks, Digger. My voice will put you to sleep. That's for sure. Yeah. Let's keep up with these comments. I spend most of my time in Manila. Okay. It was still pretty poor in a lot of places, but I could go a mile or two away and it looked like Seoul or Tokyo. Yeah, you'll get that sort of divide. But thankfully, in terms of happiness, people's happiness in life, it's even people with almost nothing can be some of the happiest people on earth. And you can get some people that are like got lots and lots of money and they're miserable. So thankfully that doesn't really necessarily correlate. I mean, obviously, I think having money or wealth, it gives people more options. It gives people better access to health and education and things like that. So it gives them more opportunities, I guess, to have a more prosperous life, but it's not the be all and end all of it. In fact, I think was there a study once I think about like the West and as the sort of the average sort of life kind of like wealth and opportunities has sort of risen over the years, but the happiness kind of and contentedness kind of hasn't gone along with it the same. But then there's other factors. I think there's been like the spiritual decline of a lot of less people having faith, particularly in the UK is very, very secular. A lot more so than say the US, for example. And if people don't have that kind of thing, it's easier to get more towards sort of like depressive type states, or thinking what's the point in it all if you end up going the other way, where there's nothing to replace that void of what a spiritual life and community gives a person. So yeah, it's sad that there's still quite a lot of poverty in those areas, but hopefully the people themselves are having happy lives. Did my GMath, right? I could move there, spend 3 years working, and have enough to retire on the leftovers. Just enjoy life, ignore the BS, and sit drinks on the beach. Yeah. In fact, there was a guy I was working with at the battery plant who really liked Gambia, I think it was. He liked visiting there. And I think he was sort of saying he could technically, if he got to a point, he could sell up, the wealth that he had, sell up his house or whatever, sell up. And he could go out there and kind of live like a, almost like a king, just and if you were willing to sort of like just be in a completely different culture and sort of, be happy to immerse yourself in somebody else's culture, then I guess some people do that. It's always an option for people. Obviously, if you can get all the whatever visas or right to remain and all whatever you need, but it's like with everything in life, usually money talks. If you can usually buy these your way into these kind of things. Like a lot of the world works on bribes and stuff in a way that doesn't kind of work in like that in the UK. The UK is very kind of rule based. But yeah, I think I was watching. I don't know if you've heard about it. Have you heard of the show Long Way Round and Long Way Down? Oh, hang on, you're saying be right back. Yeah, you've probably got to go and do some work stuff. So I might be talking to myself for a bit. But yeah, what it is there's a motorbike show with Ewan McGregor and his friend Charlie Bowman, where they decided to go around the world on motorbikes. Like it was called the Long Way Round because they started in the UK and they went east, and they just kept going through all these. They planned out this route all the way through various countries, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, all into Russia, all the way through to the edge of Russia, where they just needed a little bit of a ferry ride or something across to Alaska, I think it was, and then travel down through Canada, all through America. And the idea was to get from the UK all the way around to New York, like the wrong way, effectively, the long way around. And they were saying about how like a lot of countries, you can just sort of, if you need something done, you just sort of say, kind of, is there some kind of fee I can pay to make this problem go away, that kind of thing, because there was something called a carnet that they had to get stamped on the entry to every country, and it was basically to say that all the equipment they had with them, they had like a lot of filming equipment and stuff like that. There was like a support crew sort of following them, cameras and all this kind of thing. And the carnet was basically to say, we are going to be taking these items with us out of the country again. We are not going to be selling these items whilst in the country. And that's for tax purposes, obviously, because, otherwise you could be bringing goods in and selling them when there should have technically been, the government should have gotten a tax on that as an import. So thing called a carnet, and get it stamped on the way into the country. Obviously, they were traveling all the way across the country to get out the other side. And on the other side, they have to get it stamped to say, checked, yeah, all these items, you still have them with you. You haven't sold them whilst you're in the country. And they ballsed it up, and I forget which country it was. There was one country they forgot to get the carnet stamped on the way in, so they got all the way through hundreds of miles to the other side of the country, and then they were like at the border. They were like, "Your carnet's not been stamped on the way in. We can't approve this for you to go out." And problem, right? This is a problem. But I think it was Charlie Bowman was saying, but we just the magic words, cameras off. Yeah, it's maybe some kind of fee, maybe something we can pay to make this work. Yeah, how can we resolve this? And so they say, okay, you just give us a nice little bit of money here, a few $100, whatever it is, and all of a sudden a backdated stamp appears on the carnet as if they'd done it. And I think that's how that's how things work in a lot of places. How did I get onto that? Oh yeah, I think I was talking about like the right to live and stuff if you wanted to ever do that and live or retire in a different country. Depends on the country, but there's different ways. There'll be the official way, and then there might be unofficial ways. I guess it's like everything in life, isn't it? It's who you know as well. And money talks. Cool. That was nice of Digger to comment, message me back on Twitter to say, I hope you get better from the flu. That's yeah, not nice. I've hardly ever had the flu. The only time I had something like it was when I had COVID the first time. That was pretty rough. Oh, hang on. No way in hell am I taking a motorbike in the cities. Yeah, no, definitely not. No, I don't know how much of that you caught because obviously I know you work and so you probably can't listen, but to everything I'm saying. But I was talking about the round the world, the long way round. The Ewan McGregor and his friend Charlie Borman did the thing where they used the BMW motorbikes to go literally all the way around the world, and they ended up in New York. It was quite a while back now, but there's a good documentary about that. And then they did Long Way Down. They did the one where they started up in Scotland and went all the way down into Africa, all the way down right to the bottom, right to the South Africa. I think Cape Town's the city at the bottom, isn't it? Is that right? Have I got that right? I think I have. They're interesting documentaries to watch if you ever get a chance. I don't know if they're on any of your streaming services, or some of it might be on YouTube now. It's quite a few years ago. But I read the books as well. They sort of wrote some books about their experiences. But yeah. Oh, I'm just realizing I'm missing chats because I'm not scrolling down. It seems fun, but they had security details. Yeah. My white ass would be kidnapped and ransomed alone. I don't know. I think it's random. It's like, have you heard of Miles, Lord Miles Routledge, the English guy who just goes on these crazy adventures? He was held captive by the Taliban for about 7 months recently, but they've released him. He was one who kept going back. Yeah, I mean, with the Charlie Borman and Ewan McGregor, I think the fact because Ewan McGregor is just so famous and he was in the Star Wars, well, he was in Trainspotting and all that kind of stuff, but then later he was in the prequels, the Star Wars prequels and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I can kind of imagine that they had probably a good security detail behind the scenes. Lord Miles, yeah, that dude is insane. I know he's funny, right? I kind of like his attitude to it, and it's because he's a believer as well. He was sort of basically saying, well, if it's God wants me to die, then I'll die. If He wants me to live, I'll live. Kind of a thing, and I kind of respect that. He was just like, nah, lol. He just does it for the lols. I saw a footage of him in Afghanistan, and I think he was having a go with a rifle. I'm not sure what type it was. I don't know if it was an AR or whether it was actually like an old era M16 or something. I can't remember now, but he was just like a kid at Christmas. He was just giggling and just laughing, and he's like, just loosening rounds and going, "This is so much fun." He's a good lad. Yeah, I was really worried for him at one point because I was thinking, "Oh, please don't die," because that would suck if he went. Because he went to like South Sudan as well, which was like, one of the at the time I think it was one of the most dangerous places in the world. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll just gotta go there, and I'll walk and hitchhike or whatever from there to the next country or something," and just took the risk. Yeah, something I quite respect about that. And long may his adventures continue. So I've kind of lost track completely of what I was talking about. See, this is what I love. This is what I love about kind of streaming is having interaction, just chats with people. This is why it kind of sucks when I do one of these and then if nobody turns up, I'm just talking to myself, and it's just not the same. So I'm really pleased that you're here, having a chat with me. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Kaiser. He's put a like on my reply. Again, though, I'm probably guessing he'd be busy making food for his family and stuff at this time, because I think it's the kind of time he'll be with the kids. Know the feeling. What was that? What was I talking about? Oh, do you mean like if you're just doing something and like nobody's turning up to streams and stuff? It can feel harsh, can't it? If that's what you're talking about, but you just got to crack on and enjoy yourself. I mean, like say if I did this one here where I was playing a little online game, even if nobody turned up, I'd still do it because that's the reason I made my YouTube channel was fun. You know, just like when I started the dancing, it was just because I'm a bit weird and why not? So I think I would still do the same. It just makes it much more interesting when there's somebody to talk to. Talking to the camera alone, well, yeah. Because the last time I did this and threw up a stream, I think it was just literally me. Nobody turned up, but I managed to still talk for like an hour, and I was quite surprised. I guess the more you do it, the more used to it you get. Because when I first started, I would try and stream, and then I would talk for like I don't know 15 minutes, and then that was it. I was done. There was like nothing to say, so I was like, okay, I'll end it there. But I guess the more you do it, the more you kind of get used to it. So now I can ramble for quite a while. I mean, it would be easier if I prepared, like like most people. If I actually had like a few what do you call them, like news topics to look at, or things on Twitter or videos to look at. I just saw that AOC one. Was it earlier today or yesterday? And that made me laugh because you could just see in her face that she didn't like the answer that she got. I just love it. Did you actually see him commit a crime? Yes. No, name the crime. No, you didn't. What's this? Preparation is for suckers. Yeah, rant on and people watch. Yeah, it's weird. It is, but it's good weird. It is good weird. Speaking of which, what time is it now? It's gone past 10 o'clock here. I should probably start to wrap this one up. I'll just make sure nobody's trying to message me for a link to join in. Don't think so. Where's notifications? See, this is I am not used to the PC version of Twitter at all. Everything's in different places. Right, here we go. There we go. That's the screen. There we go. Cool. What else has been going along in life? Not a lot. I've just been working a lot. Apart from that, I'm like dad's taxi. I've got to take my daughters here, there, and everywhere. There's a lot of football. Like Tuesday nights, my daughter's at training. Wednesday night, she trains with her team. Because Tuesday nights is training with the people from the local football club. Wednesday nights is her actual team, and then Saturday mornings they have a match. Saturday afternoons I usually work to catch up some hours that I'm not working other times. It's like this kind of, you get to this stage of life, particularly if you get kids. There's a certain stage where you're almost have no evenings free at all because it's always something else or for somebody else. I'm kind of in that stage of life, so just grabbing an hour now to do his live stream is just rare. One thing I have started though is the challenge the narrative. I've already done episode 1 so far. I'm going to do the next one on polystrate fossils, particularly fossilized trees that go through various layers and how that creates something to maybe challenge the narrative with. Not everyone agrees, obviously. There's a bit of debate about polystrate fossils, but that's what the next one I'm going to do for that. And I think that'll probably be my kind of niche thing. It's like you were saying, Sleazy, about like, you got monetized, but what do I do now kind of thing. You got to kind of find your own niche, I guess, or area that you want to make videos about. And obviously you can do whatever you like. You can change it whenever you like. But yeah, for me, I was going to try and have a big stream with Mighty Meat about all my sort of theories on life and stuff, which are not that different to the mainstream. but I think I would struggle. I think with that, I would come out looking very ill prepared if I hadn't. I think if I do a little video on each one, it'll give me the time to actually research it properly, try and present what I'm trying to say clearly. And if I do all those series of videos, then if I try and do a big stream with him where we discuss it all, I think I'll feel more mentally prepared for the pushback that I'll inevitably get to my theories. Because my theories are very much not the norm. You know, I'm more kind of like what people call young Earth creationism kind of thing. Even though I don't think 6,000 years is young, I think a lot can happen in that time. But I know that's very much not the mainstream at all. And yeah, so I think I'm going to do a series of little videos all about the different subjects as to why I kind of believe these things. Let me just get this new comment on. Yeah, did that. Just live streaming Friday. Added the new Sunday show, Seamless Shekel Shakedown. I like it. Seamless. Sorry, same. I guess you mean shameless. Is that a typo? Shameless Shekel Shakedown. That would make sense. Made a merch store. Nice. Cool. Yeah, so you're getting involved in some cool stuff. And I would just encourage people, yeah, if you just have a go, you know, get out there, get your name out there, do some stuff. Because there's only so much sitting around and planning you can do with anything in life. Sometimes you've just got to do stuff, you know. And so the Sunday show is Shameless Shekel Shakedown. For anybody watching, check out Sleazy. Check out his channel. So you do streams on Friday and Sunday. I'll have to look out for the stuff for your Philippine stuff and see what you got up to. It's like somebody I used to sort of know. I didn't know them that well. It was they were the same age as my brother, who's 2 years older. Used to live on the same street as us in Lincolnshire. He now lives in Thailand, and he's got a video where he mostly kind of goes around like various eating places and sort of like eats the stuff and sort of reviews and says like, you know, talks about the pricing and the food and that kind of stuff. He's called Expat Paul on YouTube, and he seems to be doing pretty well actually. Like he sort of built an audience. So I think it's just a case of just do. Oh yeah, that was a typo. Shameless. Yeah, yeah. Just do what you kind of enjoy, you know, and people will watch it. People will find your stuff, and you'll gain an audience. It's all in December. Oh, okay. So it was a while back. Yeah. I think you said about 3. Okay, so if I look back to the stuff you're doing, like over the December, you were in the Philippines. Cool. I was going to say Christmas, but that would be wrong. For you, it'd be Hanukkah. Or is it pronounced? How do you pronounce it? Is it just Hanukkah or Hanukkah? Hanukkah. I remember Joe Neerman was saying a lot of people say Oive wrong. He said it's more like Aive instead of Oive. Let's have a look here. Yeah, getting a full meal for like 100 pesos, which is like $2. Street food was even. Yeah. See, that's great, isn't it? It seems mad sometimes the prices, how cheap they are when you're abroad, using the mighty dollar. But yeah, that's what Paul does with the stuff in Thailand. So he'll say this is however many baht, the local currency of baht, and then what that kind of equivalent is in pounds or dollars or whatever. And you get some really good deals over there and really good food. It's however you can pronounce it. Yeah, because you always hear people in the media sort of saying Ive, but he was saying it's more like Ive, instead of like the oi. It's more like I don't know. I think it's a great saying just for the feeling of it, because like with the kids when they do things and you're just like oi. Yeah. The sound of I just like the sound of those words because it conveys the feeling very well, I think. What am I doing with these comments? Right, there we go. That's better. I will just refresh this one more time. Notifications. There we go. What was I talking about before? Dad's taxi and stuff. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm going to sort of carry on with the theme of doing the challenge the narrative subjects. There's a few kind of things that link to biblical stuff, which I'll be looking to do for that. And yeah, the first one though was a little bit different. I did that more on kind of the idea of aliens and my thoughts on what they will be if they turn up, because I don't think that they'll be things from far away. I think they'll be things from a different dimension. But yeah, that's more on the kind of out there kind of topics. Although thinking about it, most of my topics are probably going to be that out there for most people, because they're the kind of things that people don't usually talk about in the mainstream. Right, what time is it? I'm coming up for an hour. I'm only like a minute and 20 seconds from an hour. I should at least do an hour's worth of streaming, shouldn't I? I should at least do that. So I'll have to ramble a little bit more. What was I going to ask you? Oh, new comment. Let's have a look. Might hit you up in a month or two to consult on something I'm working on in the background. Yeah, look, that's cool, because I enjoyed that one we did about the British kind of UFO sighting thing. Even though I didn't really know much about the subject, I really enjoyed having a chat. And I think you didn't really know me that well, and you trusted me to come onto your channel and talk about stuff. And yeah, if you're ever going to do something like that, some kind of a stream where it's a subject where you think I might have some kind of input that might be, I mean, particularly if it's something sort of biblical. Obviously, I've got my own sort of slant and thoughts on that kind of stuff. I like to discuss them with you because you'll look at it from the Jewish perspective and more to do with the Torah and I guess the Talmud. I don't know if you study Talmud as well, or from what I understand about that, the Talmud is kind of like almost like a record of debate amongst various rabbis, and people misunderstand that, and sometimes they read stuff in the Talmud and think it's like a commandment, and it's like, no, that's not what it is. it's like rabbis discussing things, so they might have completely contradictory views within the Talmud, and yeah, you'll have to tell me if I'm wrong about that. I think that's my understanding of it. Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting it doesn't automatically scroll down, so I'm not seeing any new comments. Sort of. Not as first. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's interesting anyway. So, because from a certain point of time backwards, me and you basically believe the same thing in terms of the Torah. Let's have a quick look. In all honesty, it's a bunch of people arguing about Invisible Man and which one is right. Quite right. It's a funny way of putting it. But it's a good thing to talk about, because just because something is invisible doesn't mean it's not there. In fact, there's the scripture, isn't it, saying we're not looking towards the things that are seen, because the things that are seen are temporary. We're looking at the things that are unseen, because the things that are unseen are eternal. And you can't see the wind, for example, but you can see the effects of it. You can't see gravity, I guess, but we know the effects of it. We can't see time, but we can experience it past, like moving on. There's a lot in the universe that is invisible, but is still nonetheless real. But yeah, mankind has been arguing ever since the fall about who's right. You're quite correct there. I think it boils down to, for me, to, yeah, pretty much. In fact, to quote or paraphrase kind of Jesus. Now, I know obviously as a Jew, you don't regard Jesus to be the Messiah. That's cool. But if you don't mind me quoting him, when he was asked what is the most important commandment, he said, well, the first one is love the Lord your God. I think he said with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength. And he said, and the second most important commandment is like the first, love your neighbor as you love yourself. He said, if you're doing these, in these is all of the basically all of the commandments and the prophets. Basically, sort of, if you do these things, you'll be kind of fulfilling the gist of everything. if you are doing loving God and loving other people like you love yourself, then you're kind of in the right direction. So, and you kind of worded that in a slightly different way. Don't be a knob and don't be weird. It's kind of close. It's kind of Sleazy's own version of that, I guess. But yeah, it kind of does boil down to that. Be nice to people. In fact, Douglas Adams is quite funny. There was an author called Douglas Adams who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it was in one of his books. There, he said he was describing something. And he said at about roughly 2,000 years after a bloke was nailed to a tree for saying, "Wouldn't it be great if we were all nice to each other for a change?" And I just loved his humor. It was that always made me laugh, even as a Christian. Although I think actually when I first started reading his stuff, I wasn't a Christian. It was before I was, but just like the way he put it. Is it true? Do I actually have a viewer on YouTube? Ooh. I can see some people on Rumble watching, allegedly, but somebody on the YouTubes, which is rare for me. I'm going to try and look at that in the background and see what's going on. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I'll probably scare them off. There we go. Pause that. Oh yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, in the title I put about Snake.io. That really went wrong. I would have loved to have played. I love that game, but this computer just can't handle it. Oh, hello, Digger. Hello. Hiya, Dance. Been lurking, enjoying the convo. Also, Douglas Adams has a wonderful way with words. Yes, he does. One of my favorite authors. Which is it's odd because he was actually described himself as an evangelical atheist. He was actively trying to turn people away from God. But no, his books are brilliant. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the Dirk Gently series of the holistic detective agency. I think I've actually read everything he wrote, including there was a book called The Salmon of Doubt, which wasn't really a book of his, but they collected some bits of writings that hadn't been published, and after he died, and sort of tried to make a book of some of his other stuff that people hadn't seen. I've got that somewhere. Yeah, I was at university when I heard that he'd sadly passed away. He had a heart attack whilst he was on a treadmill, I think. Yeah, I always wanted to meet the guy, but it wasn't to be. I'm just realizing I am missing lots of comments now. Ooh. Where is this? I question Rumble's numbers, but it does make you look cooler, so we roll with it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand the difference between raw views and unique views. Because, I mean, I know unique views, it means it's from a different person, from a different computer kind of thing. I get that. Like if I was just watching my own video lots of times, that might be a way to flag up, hey, this guy's trying to inflate his numbers. But I see some of my Rumble videos, and it's like the raw views are like double the unique views. But I'm thinking like, that's weird. Like nobody's watching my stuff again and again. Then again, are they? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it is questionable, but I seem to do a little bit better on Rumble than I do on YouTube anyway. Oh, that's Digger saying hi to Sleazy. Yeah, cool. Bad Dazza. Hey, up, buddy. My English friend. We are fellow countrymen. I forget whereabouts you're from, though. Somewhere down south? Can't remember. Apologies. I'm terrible at remembering things. Yes, yeah, evangelical atheist. I think that's how he described himself. He was like kind of like, rather than just an atheist, he was kind of more like an anti-theist. You surely must have come across people like this. Even though somebody I used to work with, and we'd have like debates a little bit about this, not massively, but she was trying to get all the kind of Matt Dillahunty kind of points at me, trying to come and attack my faith. And I'm like, that's not going to work. I can't experience what I've experienced. It's like we can disagree, but you know. Instead of time there, yeah. I figured it'd probably be about time people sort of eat over in America. So, I sent that message like 30 minutes ago. Which message? I'm lost. Apologies if I missed comments from ages ago. Hello, love. Hello. All right, governor. I'm trying to think of English things to say now. Oh, Staffordshire. Let me just Google exactly where that is because I know it's south from me. That's all I know. Oh, is it just north of Birmingham? Is it? Kind of in the middle. Kind of bang in the middle. Yeah, south of Sheffield, north of Birmingham. There's, of course, the town of Stafford is just there, right? Yeah, so you're pretty much kind of in the middle. A little bit close to Welsh. You're Welsh and you know you are. You're Welsh. No, I'm only kidding. Oh, Rumble just jumped you back 30 minutes. Okay, right. I thought you meant I was missing a comment from 30 minutes ago. I was thinking, what? Yeah, they'll get better. They are. They're improving. I mean, when I think back to when it first started, they're massively better. In fact, that's why I was able to stream when I had hardly any followers at all, because I think I'd grandfathered rights because I'd set up a Rumble channel ages ago, just because I kind of saw the way things were going with censorship and stuff and bias and all that, and I thought, well, these guys are worth a try. Hey, Rags, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Rags, if you want to join, message me on Twitter. I think I just followed you on Twitter today. If you want to jump in, and I'll add you in. I know I don't get to sort of see your streams that much because it's Sunday evenings when I'm usually kind of busy and dropping off my father-in-law and stuff like that. At the time you're streaming, I do try and jump in. Yeah, there was an interesting one the other day. I know the kind of subjects you talk about are a little bit different to the kind of things I usually talk about, but I'm quite happy to talk about anything. I know with yourselves, it's a lot of kind of stuff to do with the immigration policies and all that sort of stuff that's going on in our countries. And so, yeah, I've got some thoughts on that that probably kind of align with yours quite a lot, to be honest. But yeah, was it? I think one of your guests the other night was getting into the whole Israel Gaza thing the other night, and I was thinking I'll maybe steer clear of that one because some of my views are maybe a little bit different to some of theirs, and some of the stuff they were saying is talking points that have been put out there that aren't actually quite correct to the history. But I thought, no, I'm not going to get involved there because it's such a divisive subject. Oh, your Sunday's the same with your mum. Okay, that's cool. So I guess you must spend time with your mum earlier in the day because you usually stream on the evening, don't you? About 7, 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday. But yeah, you seem to have a good fun bunch on your channel. So yeah, hopefully one day we can get a bit of a chat together. Or if you like, say, if you're available now, if you want to jump on, I've got a few minutes. Was it? Yeah, it's only 10:26. It's not too late. Yeah. The only thing I've got to keep an eye on is this little office is actually part of the bedroom here, so I can't like stream like into like midnight, 1 in the morning, because my wife would be like, "Shut up, I want to go to sleep," kind of a scenario, you know. Although there's kind of a door here. I did try once joining like a gaming stream with some Americans when it was like about 4 in the morning here. But the door did nothing. She could just hear everything I was saying, so it was keeping her awake, bless her. But yeah, I like that, Rags, that you've got that link as well with like the Woodlander. I think he's a really interesting guy. I like what he's doing. I really love his initiative. Like if I was rich, I would just be like, here's £1 million, go buy some land, you know, insurance for ourselves in the future and our kids. So yeah, I've signed up to his thing. I've only got a few shares, not much because I don't have a lot of spare money, but I think it's a brilliant idea what he's doing. Buy the land, like to stop globalists. Basically, just if we own land, at least there's something. You know, at least there's some place you can go, some place you can grow food, and you know, I mean, long term, would we be able to keep hold of it, or will the government just come and take it by force? Who knows? But at least it's a trying to do something because, like, say, politically, they're all the same. They're all World Economic Forum puppets, aren't they? Let's have a look. You were on my Gran Torino stream. Was I? What's that? He was talking about the replacement of the native people of Ireland. You were on my Gran. Oh, you mean I was in the chat? I think you mean. I was going to say I wasn't on as a guest. I remember, unless my memory is really that bad. Gran Torino stream. He was talking about the replacement of the native people of Ireland. Yeah, it's the same with Ireland and England, Scotland, Wales. Yeah, I see. I've got some slightly different views, right? Because oh, hang on, Sleazy saying, what's he saying? I'll get back to this in a second, but the government will just order 66 you if they want the land. Yeah, they will. Is that the Star Wars one? Is that right? Order 66, just yeah, yeet them all. If I go back to this, you see, I've actually got no problem with like say immigration as a thing. I have an issue with like uncontrolled like mass immigration. So because say for example, like I'm part of a church as a Christian, and where I am in the city, there's like half of our church are from various countries in Africa. Lovely people. A lot of them work in the hospital and stuff like that that's nearby. But you see, because they're Christians, we're brothers and sisters in Christ. So we have a shared kind of culture in the fact that we love Christ and we're trying to be like Him, and we talk about the Bible, have Bible studies, share food, all this kind of stuff. So we've got a shared culture, no matter where you're from in the world. You know, to somebody who's an actual Christian, we're just brothers and sisters in Christ. There is no real kind of like, okay, you're from a certain country, but that's irrelevant. But the mass immigration isn't all, you know, those kind of people. It's a mixture of everything, including like hardcore jihadis or people who just want to just work and make a living, but they're willing to work for lower wages. So it drives down. It's good for big corporations because they get, you know, cheap labor. And what was I talking about? I think Konstantin Kisin just put out a tweet with a video. Him and some other guy were debating, a couple of people on the other side. It was just today. I haven't managed to watch it all. I think it's like an hour long or something. But they were just talking about this, and Konstantin Kisin was talking about the same thing. You know, he's saying yes, he's an immigrant. He came here, but when he came here, it was like about 40,000 people a year, like legally, and whereas now it's like 700,000, and it's not, and it's, you know, it's like people with like say loads of them that don't have specialized skills, and it's just for, you know, for low labor jobs and stuff, and that's just that number. Then you've got all those that come on the boats and stuff. And he said that, you know, the amount that come on the boats like with no documents or anything, that's more. I think it was about double at the moment. The amount that was when he came in, it's crazy numbers. And let me just make sure I'm not missing some stuff here. The Woodlander is now on the Hope Not Hate hit list. Really? Really? He's like the nicest guy. He's just like, yeah, wouldn't it be nice if we just had our own bit of land, so that, you know, the government can, trying to stop the government interfering with every part of our life. But of course they don't want that. So yeah, of course he's going to end up on the list. Let's see. Africans do make up a great share of Christian. Yep. But the mass immigration of the followers of Alan Snackbar, yeah, I have a problem. You hit the nail on the head. Yep. That we need to know who's coming in. It's like I had this kind of an argument with somebody years ago on Facebook, and I didn't realize that they were kind of one of these open borders, let everybody in kind of thing. Nobody's illegal. And I was saying to him, but you understand, let's say if I was in Greece and I tried to walk across into Turkey, you realize guys with guns on the border are going to stop me, right? I have no right to be in their country. And he was trying to argue, saying, yeah, that's the problem. You should. Why should that be? You're human. You should just be able to go there. And I the way I sort of turned it around, I said, okay, if this is what you advocate for, if you want open borders, okay, so that means you have to be happy with people who are on the run, people who are murderers and rapists and stuff like that, who are you're happy with them coming in. And he was like, no. I was like, well, no. Well, then you necessarily have to have border checks. I said, what if there's like an Interpol, what do you call it, the thing out, warrant for an arrest of a guy? He's on the run because he's raped some kids, for example. And he thinks, right, I need to get out of this country. I'll flee to the UK. I was saying to him, well, what you're saying, you're fine with him coming in, totally unstopped. And he was like, no. Well, I was like, but you are, because if you want to stop those guys, where there's like an international arrest warrant out for somebody, you necessarily have to have a border check. You have to stop them and check that they've got a right to be there. And then if it flags up, oh, there's a warrant for this guy, let's hold him and get the police and see if this is the same guy. So we can, it's just common sense, and just none of that is happening with the boats. Let's see what we got here. Government knocks. The only thing they hear is, are those level 4 plates? Lol. I don't get that. Is that to do with armor? Some of this is going to be American stuff that's going to go over my head. FBI, open up. Sorry, Sleazy, I'm probably not going to get all of these references. I'll try, but he has Nazi chickens apparently. Yeah, these chickens, they've been they've been friendly and hanging around with Count Dankula's dog. You see, that pug. In fact, that was a travesty in the whole thing. I presume, Rags, you know about Count Dankula and all that kind of nonsense. They punished him, never punished the dog. Now, as I recall, it was the dog that was doing the Nazi stuff, not not him. So yeah, so apparently the Woodlanders chickens. That's hilarious. I love it, Rags. If you want open borders, you must also accept no doors. Exactly. That was the one thing, Sleazy, that I never actually got to say to him, because we kind of agreed to disagree before I got that point in. But he had a business at the time. It was like a small pub called a micro pub. And I was going to sort of say to him, well, if that's really your stance on open borders, then I hope you never lock your door at home, and I hope you never lock the business. Just leave it open, because it's the same principle, but just for a country rather than home. It's like, if you don't want criminals being able to just come in, you need to check who's coming in. And the same principle applies. It's strange to me that people don't get that. And then they act all Pikachu surprise face when some of these people that have come in do horrendous crimes and kill people, and they're like, "Ooh, but it doesn't happen very often." It shouldn't happen at all. I mean, yeah, some of those crimes will still happen from people that are born here. That is unfortunate, but you don't have to import it as well. Oh, sorry. I'll send you a video of that. Oh, is that about the 4 plates thing? Is it about some kind of government raid on somebody, or attempted one? Hey, buddy. Hey, Mike Meat. How you doing, fella? Yeah, I figured the timing wouldn't be good for yourself. But I'm glad you turned up. I'm just basically just rambling, and thankfully have a few people actually come to talk to me, which is rare. Usually I'm talking to myself. Let's have a little look here. Yep, I taught my cat Susie to do a Roman salute. Careful, they'll fine you £800, and then they'll refuse your right to protest that, and they'll just take it out of your bank account like they did to Count Dankula. Also, never wear pants like me. Yeah, that would stop them coming and raiding the house. Especially if you have a glass door, you just like, what? Just all hanging out in the breeze. Might be the one thing that might actually make the feds go away. Although I know pants in America just means trousers. It doesn't really mean pants. Oh, this is great. I should keep checking notifications. Mighty Meat, do you want in, fella? Or are you you want to come in on the stream? Or are you sort of busy doing other stuff where you can't? Oh, you're driving. Okay. Just hanging out, yeah. I hope you're on hands-free kit, fella. Although I know the laws in America are different. Over here, you cannot touch your phone while you're driving. Otherwise, you can get 6 points, which is halfway to a ban and a large fine. Quite rightly so, actually, because like if people are actually trying to text and stuff, then that's like more distracting than, I think they've done studies. It's like worse than being like slightly drunk and driving. I mean, obviously it depends on the level of drunk, but yeah, I think in most states, I think it's still perfectly fine and legal for you to use your phone while driving. Is that right? Um, actually, if you're driving, how are you typing? Good grief, don't do that unless you're doing a voice controlled thing. No, I mean full pickle. I meant full pickle. You've lost me on that one, matey. I'm not. I can, but audio will suck. Well, my audio always sucks, but well, I'm trying actually to put this through voice mod now and clear out the backgrounds to make it clearer. So it's gotten rid of all those kind of electronic computer whiny noises. So now the only whiny noises you hear is just me. That's just me. Hello, Robert Ingram. This is a new name. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Hi, Dance Biker Danson. Hi, Ragnar. Cool. I'm not sure if Ragnar's still around in the background or if he's how long he's actually got to be available. By the way, Rags, yeah, if you want to come and jump in and have a little chat, let me know. Although I will be wrapping up the stream fairly soon. Just looking at the time, we'll need to wrap it up fairly soon. I'm glad I stayed on a bit longer actually, because it's cool when there's people to talk to, and often nobody wants to talk to me when I stream. Let's have a look. I'll just have a quick look at Twitter again, just to see if anybody's wanting a link to join in. Nope, don't think so. Okay. There you go. Evening, brother. Yeah, so what we're talking about, Rags, we're talking about, yeah, just immigration in general. And it's, I think lots of countries are having the same issue. I wonder what's going on with Germany now, because you don't hear about it much now. But because when Merkel was in charge, she just let loads of people in, didn't she? She was just like, yeah, all come, yeah, just come in, you know. But then they've obviously spread from there to other countries too. I wonder if they're having issues with it economically, socially, that kind of stuff. Okay, Sleazy, cool. Yeah, enjoy. Hopefully your shift goes over quite quickly for you, and yeah, enjoy the better pay for doing the evening shift or the late shift. I'd have you on a stream. Ah, cheers. Thanks, Rex. Yeah, we'll have to try and organise that sometime. Yeah, what I'd have to do, I guess, if it's a one where I know in advance that you're happy to have me on, if it's on your normal Sunday evening sort of times, I'd have to just sort of say with my wife, try and organise a one where, yeah, where I'm sort of available to come up and join, because it's at that sort of in between time where we're taking my father-in-law back to the old folks' home that he lives at, and then putting little 8-year-old to bed and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just a case of trying to find a one where the timing works. And hopefully I won't get into too many arguments with any of your other guests, because some of my views might differ. But to be honest, if it was a controversial subject, I would just keep my mouth shut anyway. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But I would try and be respectful anyway, even if I disagreed with something respectfully. Just yeah. Ooh, later, Sleazy. Thanks for dropping in. 07. I don't know what that means, but cool. Right. And now me being me, looking at these rabbits, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Oh, mass immigration. Yeah. So obviously America has its own issues with that, on a much bigger scale than us. Like, oh, hi, Digger. I got to go back to my bed. Yeah. If hope you get well soon, Digger. I appreciate you stopping in even this long when the fact that you've got the flu. Yeah, get your strength up, because maybe that's why you didn't do a Tuesday stream with Mike. You meet on Tuesday. that might be why. I was kind of expecting one of the what do you call him, Neil Cooper or whatever his name is. I was expecting one of them, and it didn't come. And that makes sense if you're not well. Really enjoying those, by the way. I'm glad that I think there's quite a lot of those sort of radio show things that you're going to go over. I think there's quite a lot of them, so that's interesting. The old Mystery Babylon sort of religion schools and their links to Masons and all that kind of stuff. Very interesting. You're saying here, Rags. The government employed 18,000 Africans into the health service, and I saw that. I saw that there was people that weren't qualified. They came in on forged documents. Yeah, no, I saw there was a bit of a scandal going on with that. It's only just starting to be discovered, isn't it? Because that was one of the big things where they were sort of pushing for massive migration. They'd saying they always give the whole thing of the NHS would collapse without them. I'm like, the NHS was here before them, didn't collapse then. I mean, yes, it's good to recruit talent from wherever, but like, where there's something to be exploited, you do get the people that will exploit it, and it seems quite a lot of them came in on forged documents. I mean, of that 18,000 though, how many weren't qualified? Was it all of them, or is that 18,000 because there was more? Like, for example, was there 40,000 and 18,000 of them weren't actually qualified? I'm not that familiar with that one. You might have to sort of get me up to speed with that one. Oh no, Mighty was out of town. Blame him. Yeah, of course. I should always blame Mighty Meat for everything. That makes sense. Of course I should. Yeah, thanks, Dazzy. Yeah, everyone is allowed an opinion, right or wrong. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, just if I did have a disagreement with somebody, I just don't want to come across as a knob about it. I like to sort of try and put a point across, but be respectful and agree to disagree on stuff. That's fine. I can still be friends with people. But yeah, that time when my friend was going on about the open borders things, he seemed to be very. He went into ad hominem and was trying to attack me and Christianity. That's when I thought he was losing. It was because he was starting to lose the argument. That's when he went in for that, which is very odd. I wasn't expecting it from him. He started saying, "Oh, I didn't realize being a Christian meant that you had to be xenophobic and stuff." And I was like, "Are you for real? You should see my church. It's like half of the people there are from every country under the sun. What are you talking about, xenophobic?" Anyway, it disappointed me. I mean, I hadn't seen the guy for a while. We were at university together, but he was a good guy. He still is a good guy, but like it was a side of him I wasn't expecting. Loving the Mystery Babylon series. Yes, glad that you are too. I am very much indeed. Yeah, you're doing a good job. There's some theological, doctrinal stuff that you've said on the streams where I'm like, I'm not quite sure if that fits. And that would be great to talk about sometime. But whenever I've got those few thoughts, I would always back it up with scripture and say, I'm not sure, but this is the reason why. I think one of them you brought up, it was about the Revelation 12, about the third of the stars falling, being the metaphor for angels falling with Satan. And there's a debate there about, a lot of people say that a third of the angels went with Satan. And I'm thinking, there's different. That's actually, if you look at it, it looks like it has to be a future event, not a past event. But yeah, that would be a great subject to talk about sometime. No, I am out of town. Yeah, I'm still going to blame you, mate. It's still your fault. Next week should be back. Cool. I'm glad because I enjoy that series that you're doing. I'm not sure what Daz is saying here. And your mind. Okay, I think I've missed half of that conversation. Oh, all 18,000. Wow. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. That doesn't look good for the government, does it? Wow. 6,000 state registered nurse with forged documents. Oof. I'm going to at least hope that some of them actually still did a similar vocation back home and kind of knew what they were doing, but that's not great. Especially nurse level, because that's when you're administering certain drugs, aren't you? Okay, no good. What you saying? I got to talk to you as why I'm out of town, by the way, when you get a sec. Okay, cool. I presume privately, not public information. Cool. Hopefully something to do with, I'll not say on stream, but yeah, hopefully good news for you. Might you meet as well? I'm not sure if you heard earlier because I was chatting about it, but apologies. Instead of us doing a big stream where I talk about all my kind of creationist views, if I just try and do that with all those different subjects, but like on the fly, I'll kind of mess them up. So I'm going to do my series of challenge narrative little videos on each one, and then that'll force me to research it properly and sort of put across my view clearly. And then that way, once I've done that, we can at some point have like a big stream where we discuss it, and then you can have your pushback, and we can have a bit of back and forth about those ideas. And at least that way, I've at least put out my side without butchering it, if that's okay. Apologies, because I know you were wanting us to, have to do a stream about that soon, but I think I'd rather do a little series of videos on each subject first, if that's all right, and then we can discuss the whole lot at some point. Oh yeah, I noticed it because you private messaged me one time as well. Was it about a couple of weeks back or something? On the end of February, and you were saying, "Was I about?" And I was about, and I was like, "Where are you?" So I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad you're okay, because then I didn't see you on anything for a couple of days, and I was a bit worried about like if something happens. Might you meet? Is he in the hospital? What's happened? But yeah, I'm glad you're okay anyway. In case you missed those DMs on Twitter, I don't know if you like check Twitter that much for DMs, but I was like, if that was quite funny because I was like, yeah, I can be available. Then I put, oh, hang on, it's jumping around. And I put like, I'm here. And then I was like, you're late and gay. And I was like, lol, where are you? Where you at? That was kind of funny. But yeah, the main thing is if you're okay. I was a bit worried for a few days, and then you turned up again. That's it. Mike is out of town and his mind. Yeah. I get it now. I get it. Oh, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to explain that because, yeah, I thought it would be a bit of a not great on my part if I sort of said to you, yeah, we'll do a big stream sometime, and then I do all these little series of videos about stuff without at least explaining that to you, the reason why I wanted to do it that way around. Am I not on Telegram? No, I'm not. I'll tell you what it is, Rags, is there's lots of stuff that maybe I should be on, but I just got so fed up with having to set up more accounts, more things, and more logins and more passwords, and just haven't got the time to check all the different apps. So it got to a certain point where I was like, nah, I've got enough for the moment. So I tend to deal with Twitter, YouTube, Rumble. That's kind of about it. Facebook, rarely, but mostly just for family. Just because, I've got like some family that live in America and stuff like that, and some that live in Australia. And so it's just so that I can see what's going on with family. Yeah, that's about it. Occasionally I'll look in on Gab, not very often. But yeah, is Telegram just like another one just for chatting and stuff? A bit like Twitter and that? Oh yeah, Discord. I don't do Discord either. Dance if word check his Discord. Yeah. Again, I don't bother with even that. Again, it's more stuff. Just to, I know. I haven't got time to have a million things. It's like locals as well. I was like, no. There's too many. There's too many. I'm old. I'm an old man. And yeah, I've got an old man mindset where I'm like, no, this works. I've got enough now. Who knows? If I ever get like more time in the future, I might do some of these things. But is there any particular reason, Rags, why having Telegram is a good idea? What's it for? In fact, let me Google what is Telegram, because I just thought it was just like another thing a bit like Twitter. But what is Telegram? Conversation. Oh, okay, so it's going to be like WhatsApp, basically. Yeah, but I guess more trustworthy than WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is owned by Meta, which is Zucker twat. But yeah, I just go by the premise of anything I message anybody at any point, the government will be able to see if they want to. So they already know my views. They already know I don't particularly like them. You know, it's fine. Oh, hang on. I'm messing up the chats here. I'm trying to pin, but I can't pin because that's in the way now. Rumble is good, but I don't think you can PM people. Oh, I see. Okay, so you use it for that. Yeah, that's why I sort of kind of set up a new Twitter for my channel. So if anybody wants a link, I'll just DM them on Twitter. Yeah, I never even thought about that, but I don't think you can DM people on Rumble that I'm aware of. Yeah. So I guess you use that for your sharing your links and things like that. You're old and not as old as me, 53 in September. I'm only 11 years behind you. Or 10 really. I'm not far off turning 43. So okay, you got 10 years on me. But yeah, it's not really so much the age thing. It's just my stubbornness of like I just can't be bothered with more things because with the work that I do now, I've got a lot of systems with a lot of passwords and things like that, and it's just my brain doesn't want to do anymore. Drop your X in the chat. Okay, yeah, I will do. Let's see, where do I add the chat? Doesn't let me do it here. I'll have to go to my actual stream to add the chat. It's just at Dance Biker Dance. Hopefully that will show up. There we go. Oh no, you're on YouTube. Not on Rumble. So if I go to YouTube and I put it's at Dance Biker Dance, that's my Twitter or X one. Put for X. There we go. Yeah, I used to be just at Dance Biker years and years ago, and I did kind of okay on that. I think I got to about just over 1,000 followers on that, and then they started banning people and banning the truth and stuff, and I was like, nah, I'm out, and I just yeeted it. I was like, I've had enough of that. But then Elon, thank goodness, Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X, and now free speech to a degree is back, and at least the other side of things gets to speak without being completely censored and yeeted. And so I came back, but I yeeted the old one, so I had to set up at Dance Biker Dance, and now I just kind of mostly use it just for trying to link in with the YouTubers and stuff. I've got like another, just like I guess burner account on it where I can follow more stuff just for keeping up with news, but I don't use that one as myself. And then Dance Biker Dance is the one for the YouTube channel. But yeah, cool. I think I've followed you today on that, so you should be able to see me on X. Yeah, now I can't remember what we were talking about. I do this. I'm like Mighty Meat. I go off on a rabbit trail, chasing a squirrel in my mind, and then I completely forget the subject we were on. But yeah, that thing about the nurses is quite concerning. Was it 16,000? Yeah, 18,000. 18,000. Oof. It kind of reminds me. I think I heard of there was some guy who got really high up in the NHS, and when he retired, after he retired, then he admitted that he never actually had the initial qualification to join. He just said he did, and nobody questioned it. And then he got through his whole career, and it kind of reminded me of the Catch Me If You Can, the movie about the I forget what's his name, not Brad Pitt. What am I talking about? What's the guy's name in Catch Me If You Can? Oh man, his dad was played by Christopher Walken, I think. Why is the one from Titanic in that? What? Why is my brain not working? The hypocrite one that goes around the world in his big jets and yachts and then tells us all not to use energy. That guy. Why can I not think of it? Leonardo DiCaprio. That's it. Yeah. Now I've forgotten what I was talking about him. Why was I talking about Leo? My goodness, my brain isn't working. What on earth was I talking about? This is almost like I'm having a stroke on stream. It's because I'm trying to concentrate too much, and I'm aware I'm on stream. Anyway, I'll go back to that in a second. Schrodinger's Bluebird. Yeah, you know what I thought was what really wound me up about Twitter was when I found out all the stuff about like Jack Dorsey was in charge at the time, and they literally suppressed the truth. They literally suppressed the truth in order to sway an election, and that just was not okay with me. I just don't like suppressing the truth. It might be an uncomfortable truth, might be something that they don't want to get out there, but it was all the Hunter Biden laptop stuff. It was true, and they purposefully suppressed it. And I think people should go to jail for that. Myself, I think people should be in prison. I mean, that'll never happen, but that's how strongly I feel about such things. They should be in prison. But I wonder what the FBI said to them, like when they went to Zuckerberg and that, and they went on like Facebook. They said, "You're going to suppress this," and he went, "Oh yes, sir." But I don't know what kind of compromise or stuff they might have over him, or they might have just had nothing on him, but had just enough threatening power to just say, "If you don't do this, we will destroy your life, and we will find a crime, and we'll come after you." They could have done that. I don't know. I kind of get the feeling Elon's the kind of guy who's got enough money and balls to just sort of say to them, if they try it, they would just go, "No, F you, get out of my office." Because he kind of did, in a way, because I'm sure they were asking for personal information to do with Trump's account that they didn't have a right to. And he just went, "No, screw you." And I think they tried to fine him $100,000 or something. He was just like, "No, get lost. Not your information." As he said on that interview, "Go F yourself." When he's talking about the advertisers. Yeah, I've become quite a fan of Elon recently because of all that stuff. He's I like that about him. He's just like, yeah, he's got what they call FU money, and he's not afraid to use it and tell them to get lost. But thankfully, buying Twitter, he exposed the corruption. He exposed all the secretive shadow banning stuff. He exposed almost like a crime scene, all the communications between government and Twitter trying to suppress stuff. And I'm all for that getting out. I'm all for the truth coming out with that kind of stuff. I hate all that stuff. You know, them trying to manipulate things behind the scenes. I take it you're talking about Zuckerberg there. Was that yes. I think it's the angry bootneck who calls him Zuckertwat, which always makes you laugh. Yeah, for anybody who might watching this who doesn't know about the angry bootneck, he's hilarious as well. Lots of blue language, but he's down to earth. He's what he's saying is it's kind of true stuff, but just there's no airs and graces about him. He's from Middlesbrough, just down the road from me. Funny guy, very funny guy. I think he lives in California now. But yeah, definitely check out the Angry Bootneck. He's ex-Royal Marine. Let's see. I like a lot of what Elon says, but like Trump, he's not our guy. I'm not sure what you mean by that, not our guy. See, I think Trump's hilarious, and I like Trump. Are you not for him? If so, I'd be interested to know your reasons why. Because there's so much stuff that's said about him that just isn't true, like where they take things out of context. So people's opinions of Trump are usually swayed. Matt is based, but he makes it funny. He does indeed. I assume you mean based rather than biased. Although it might be kind of both, but he's correct about most stuff. You might have to. I'd be interested what you mean by this. Do you mean that are you more of like a Biden guy? Really? I don't. Well, maybe you are. I don't know. Are you for the Dems? Maybe I'm just misreading what you're saying there. I don't know. Yeah, it does. There's stuff that Trump says that I totally disagree with. Like he was all for the jabs, and I'm like, no, I'm not for that. But in terms of the economy and yeah, loads of stuff he did that way, I think he was actually a really good president. I actually said to somebody just before the election in 2020 back here, because they believed all the media stuff about him and stuff like that, and I said to this person, I actually think he's holding back a lot of evil that you don't realize. I said I think if the Democrats get in and Biden gets in, I think you're going to see a lot of bad stuff happen, and I think that Trump's actually holding back a lot of the agenda of the far kind of extreme left, the kind of this weird kind of stuff behind the scenes. And I think I've kind of been proven right on that, to be honest. Just by the decisions that the Biden administration has made. But yeah, maybe I'm misreading his comment there. But when he says like Trump, he's not our guy. I'm not sure if you mean that you're kind of against Trump or whether you're not saying that at all. Just correct me if I'm wrong. I may be misreading that comment, but I mean, and it's fine if that is your stance, then that's fine. Obviously, everyone's entitled to their own opinions and stuff. But what I do like is then to have a discussion and say, okay, if that's your position, why is that? Is there any particular thing you've heard that makes you feel that way? And then I like to explore topics like that because quite often people's views have been formed based on things that aren't true. We know with our media, they lie to us all the time. What's he saying here? Feck no, Biden's a moron. Yeah, okay. My mother has Alzheimer's, and she's more coherent. Yes, okay. I thought I was misreading your comment there because yeah, you can obviously see the videos of Biden when he can barely string a sentence together, and then all the stuff that you'll never see on mainstream media because they suppress it and make it look like he's coherent because they maybe get a few sound bites of him sounding like he can put a sentence together when they've drugged him up or whatever they've done. You know, in my opinion, allegedly. But yeah. The one that I thought was atrocious was, I mean, back when he was more coherent, back before the 2020 election, when he said to that black guy on the interview, he says, if you can't figure out if you're for me or for Trump, then you ain't black. And I was like, whoa, that should be like a campaign ending thing right there. That is so racist. I was like, basically saying because of a skin color, you should vote for me because of a skin color, and that's that, no argument. And I was like, who is this crazy guy? And yeah, most votes in history. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Robert, what are you saying here? Donald Trump loves money, but yeah, and Israel too much. He always has swamp creatures close to hand. Biden worse so. Yeah, fair. I mean, I think all Americans and capitalists love money. But yeah, the strong Israel ties. Obviously, you're going to have a bunch of people who are all going to have different opinions on that. It's quite a divisive subject. The only thing I will say in Israel's defense is they're literally the only democracy that I'm aware of in that area of the country where, you know, for example, in Tel Aviv, if you lived in Tel Aviv, you could be openly gay, and that's fine. No, you know, you'll be able to live your life. How many of those other countries are surrounding it could you do that? You know, it's like, and they have a democracy where at the Knesset you have a representation from Arab Muslims and things like that. Yeah. Do you think if any of the sort of the Muslim countries around, if I went and rocked up as a Christian, whether I'd be able to get representation in their government? Not going to happen, is it? There's for all that a lot of people like to bash Israel, there's also there's another side to it. There's no good guys and bad guys in everything. It's never that simple, you know. The media like to put things into like that. There was like, these are the good guys, these are the bad guys. Same with Russia, Ukraine. It's like that's not how it is. It's all very complex. These areas have been warring with each other for over a decade. I'm talking about the Russia Ukraine thing now. Not obviously the Israel goes back. You know, how long do you want to go? 3,500 years. You know. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't talk about it too much on stream because it's very divisive subject, and I'm not going to fully back up either side. Both do bad things. One side does more bad things, in my opinion, than the other. What was this saying? Hang on. Biden couldn't find his own house with both hands. Do you know what I love as well? Is Trump is so funny. He's almost like a comedian, like when he was taking the mick out of Biden because when Biden couldn't find his way off the stage, and Biden and Trump did the impression of him. He's like, I look to my right, there's a stairs over there. I look to my left, there's stairs over there. He's like, and this guy, he's like, where do I go? And he just cracks me up. Dude's like a comedian. It might fall backwards, Trainwrecks, yeah. Oh man, the amount of times he's fallen up the stairs, off his bike, over that thing on the stage. The thing is, it's like my father-in-law. He's got some kind of like bits of dementia going on, where he gets a bit confused or says something a bit odd. But like some days are better than others, and there are times when like he's better than Biden. I've seen certain looks in Biden's face, and I think I recognize that. He, in my opinion, I've got to be careful what I say online, I guess. In my opinion, he's definitely got something of that going on, and I don't know what they're going to do. Like, imagine if he won again, and like he's not going to last 4 years. No way. But yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Try being openly gay in Gaza. Yeah. That ain't happening anytime soon. It's like, did you see? There's some people had the signs and they were like, was it queers for Gaza or whatever, or queer for Hamas or whatever? And I was like, are you for real? You don't realize these guys would throw you off a building to your death? Like, they don't know anything about Islam. They don't. They just don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like chickens for KFC, or you know, I don't know, cows for Burger King. It's crazy. Remember when he shook hands with someone who had died 3 months before? What? Oh, you talk about when he sort of turned and he looked as if he was going to shake somebody's hand and there was nobody there on the stage? Or maybe I've missed something else. There's so many blunders, I can't even keep up with them. I really can't. Cool. Anyway, I've just noticed the time, so I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. But thank you very much, everybody, for coming and having a chat with me. I've really enjoyed it. Yes, Rags, I would love to have a chat with you sometime on a stream, on your stream. We'll have to chat. If you've got my Twitter X, we can maybe message and we'll try and sort that out sometime. Might you meet? Yep. Apologies, we'll have to postpone us doing like a big stream about all my beliefs until I've done those series of little videos of challenge the narrative to explain why I kind of believe in the things that I believe before we do that. And everybody else, just have a good time, have a good one. Peace, everybody, and have a great week. He says at the end of the week, have a great weekend after tomorrow. And I will see you all whenever I stream or make a video. Catch you all later. Bye.